What if I told you there's a tipping point in wealth building where things go from slow and steady to downright explosive? It's a point where your money starts working smarter, not harder, and suddenly it feels like you've cracked the code of financial freedom. The best part? This tipping point isn't reserved for the ultra wealthy, it's something you can achieve too. Today, I'm going to show you how to hit the €100,000 milestone in your portfolio, why this number is so critical, and how to accelerate your journey to build wealth faster than you ever thought possible. Ever heard the phrase, the rich get richer? It's not just a saying, it's the reality of compounding. The moment your portfolio crosses €100,000, the game changes. Suddenly, your dividends don't just trickle in, they snowball. They buy more shares, which produce more dividends, creating a self-reinforcing loop that accelerates your portfolio growth. It's like planting seeds in a field. At first, it seems slow, one sprout here, one there. Once the field starts blooming, the growth is unstoppable. This is the magic of compounding, and it's what makes hitting €100,000 such a critical turning point. But why is €100,000 the sweet spot? To understand, let's break it down. Think of it as leveling up in a video game. The early stages are slow, you're learning the ropes, and building your foundation. At first, your contributions feel like drops in a bucket. But once you hit that €100,000 mark, everything shifts. Your portfolio isn't just growing from what you're adding, it's growing from itself. This is where compounding starts doing the heavy lifting, and the snowball effect kicks into high gear. Here's how it works. Let's say you're saving €10,000 annually and earning an 8% return. In year one, your return is just €800. Not exactly life-changing, but by the second year, you're earning 8% not just on your original €10,000, but on your contributions and the growth from year one. By the time you hit €100,000, that 8% return is generating €8,000 per year. And here's the kicker. Each €100,000 milestone comes faster than the last. What took you years to achieve in the beginning now happens in a fraction of the time. Let me show you how this accelerates. Imagine continuing to save €10,000 annually at an 8% return. It takes about 8 years to reach your first €100,000. But the second €100,000, that takes just 6 years, the third, only 4. Why? Because compounding isn't linear, it's exponential. Once the snowball starts rolling, it's nearly impossible to stop. But numbers only tell part of the story. There's also a psychological shift that happens when you cross that €100,000 line. Suddenly, the dream of financial freedom doesn't feel distant anymore, it feels real. You start seeing the long-term potential of your investments. The habits and strategies that got you to €100,000 can take you even further, and you become more focused on the bigger picture. You're no longer worried about the short-term ups and downs of the market. You're in it for the marathon, not the sprint. This mindset is a game changer, and it's what keeps you steady even when the road gets rocky. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal, dividend reinvestment. It's one of the simplest yet most effective strategies for growing your wealth. Every time your portfolio generates dividends, instead of spending them, you reinvest them back into the same stock or fund. This might sound straightforward, but the impact is anything but ordinary. Reinvesting creates a feedback loop where each dividend buys more shares, which in turn produce more dividends. Over time, this process accelerates your portfolio's growth in ways that feel almost magical. Let's say you've reached €100,000 and your portfolio has a 3% dividend yield. That's €3,000 in dividends in the first year. Instead of pocketing that money, you reinvest it. The next year, your dividends are calculated not just on your initial €100,000, but on €103,000. It's a small difference at first, but over time, this reinvestment accelerates the compounding effect and propels your portfolio forward. But dividend reinvestment is just one piece of the puzzle. Diversification plays an equally important role, especially as your portfolio grows. When you're just starting out, you might focus on a few core investments. But once you hit €100,000, you have the flexibility to explore different sectors, industries, and even asset classes. This diversification reduces your risk and opens up new opportunities for growth. For example, you might add real estate investment trusts, REITs, or high dividend paying stocks from different countries to your portfolio. By spreading your investments, you create a more stable foundation and increase your chances of capturing growth from various markets. Now, imagine combining all these strategies, compounding, reinvestment, and diversification, into a single plan. This is where the snowball effect really takes off. Your portfolio begins to grow exponentially, reaching new milestones faster and faster. And the best part? It doesn't require constant effort on your part. Once the systems are in place, your portfolio works for you, not the other way around. Let's take it a step further. Say you start with a €10,000 investment in a company like United Health Group, which has a 1.32% dividend yield and a 20.34% dividend growth rate. In the first year, your dividend income might only be €132. But by reinvesting those dividends and letting compounding do its job, your portfolio could grow to €100,000 in about 12 years. From there, things accelerate quickly. By the 20th year, your portfolio could reach €575,000, generating a substantial income each year. By year 30, it could be worth over €4 million, all from starting with €10,000 and staying consistent. This isn't just about hitting numbers. It's about creating a financial system that works in the background, giving you freedom and peace of mind. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that your portfolio is generating enough income to cover all your expenses and then some. That's the power of compounding, and it's within your reach. So, what's the next step for you? Start small, stay consistent, and focus on building a diversified portfolio. Reinvest your dividends, embrace the long-term mindset, and trust the process. Whether you're aiming for €100,000 or €1 million, the strategies we've discussed today can take you there. Now, here's the big question. What's stopping you from starting your financial snowball today? Remember, the €100,000 milestone isn't just about hitting a number. It's the moment your money starts doing the heavy lifting for you. And the best part? Every step you take, every euro you invest, brings you closer to that financial freedom you've been dreaming about. So here's my challenge to you. Start now. Open that investing app, research that first dividend-paying stock, and commit to your future self. Because a year from now, 5 years from now, or even 10 years from now, you're going to look back at this moment as the day everything changed. If this resonated with you, smash that like button, subscribe to join the journey, and comment below, what's your next financial goal? Let's keep building your financial adventure, one step at a time.